dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke, and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom.
So my dear students, today in 7th standards history, we'll be learning the topic, the foundation of the Swaraj. Now in history, we have started with the topic sources of history, then India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj, then religious synthesis, and the 4th chapter Maharashtra before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. And now in 5th chapter we are going to talk about how Shivaji Maharaj laid the foundation of the Swaraj. In the first half of the 17th century, an epoch-making personality emerged in Maharashtra, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who established Swaraj by challenging the unjust ruling powers here. Now, the importance of the Swaraj or the objective of the Swaraj was not only to fight against the powers in Maharashtra, but also to give justice to the people. And that is why Shivaji Maharaj not only established Swaraj, but he gave justice to the common people. Shivaji Maharaj was born at the Shivneri fort near Junnar in Pune district on the day of Falgun Vaidya Tritiya in the Shak year 1551, that is on 19th February 1630. So here in this chapter we will study how he founded Swaraj. And the concept of Swaraj, or when we are talking about the foundation of the Swaraj, it is very important to start it with the Shahajiraje, the father of Shivaji Maharaj, who was a pre-eminent Sardar in the Deccan, was very famous for his bravery. The Mughals had launched a campaign to conquer the Nizam Shahi kingdom, and the Adil Shah of Bijapur allied with the Mughals in this campaign. But Shahaji Maharaj did not wish the Mughals to get an entry into the south. And that is why he tried to save Nizam Shahi by offering stiff resistance to the Mughals. In the beginning, Shahajiraje was a Sardar in the Nizam Shahi, but to enter in Maharashtra, Adil Shah and Mughals allied, but Shahajiraje tried to save Nizam Shahi by offering stiff resistance to the Mughals, but he could not withstand the combined might of the Mughals and Adil Shahi, क्योंकि दोनों की ताकत मिलके और बढ़ गई और शाहजीराजे उनके साथ उतना नहीं लड़ पाए, उन्हें दूर नहीं रख पाए. The Nizam Shahi was defeated and came to an end in 1636 CE. Now after that, what happened? After the Nizam Shahi was wiped out, Shahajiraje became a Sardar of the Adil Shahi of Bijapur. First he was Sardar in the Nizam Shahi, but then when the Nizam Shahi was wiped out, he became a Sardar of the Adil Shah of Bijapur. The region comprising Pune, Supe, Indapur and Chakan, located between the Bhima and Neera rivers, was vested in Shahajiraje as a Jagir. Pune, Supe, Indapur and Chakan Parganas. Now in the last lesson, we studied about the concept of Pargana. So the Pune, Supe, Indapur and Chakan Pargana, located between the Bhima and Neera rivers, was vested in Shahajiraje as a Jagir. And this was continued by the Adil Shah, and he also granted the Jagir of Bengaluru and the neighboring areas in Karnataka to Shahajiraje. Now by this Jagirs, we can understand the importance of Shahajiraje in the politics of Maharashtra of that period. Shahajiraje was valiant, courageous, intelligent and a great political expert. He was an excellent archer. He was also expert in using the sword, patta and spear. He loved his subjects. He had owned many regions in Maharashtra, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Again, I am repeating, by this sentence we can understand the political power of Shahajiraje. South India was in awe of him, while Shivaji and Jijabai were at Bengaluru. He had arranged for providing excellent education to Shivaji so as to enable him to become a king. And that is why we can say he himself aspired to establish Swaraj by ousting the powers of foreign people. So many qualities and the political understanding, and that is why he aspired to establish Swaraj. But though he was not succeed in that, he had arranged for providing excellent education to Shivaji so as to enable him to become a king. And that is why he is known as Swaraj Visionary. Now in this topic we are going to talk about how Shivaji Maharaj laid the foundation of the Swaraj, but it was started by Shahajiraje in his mind, the vision of Swaraj. Shahajiraje sent Shivaji and Jijabai from Bengaluru to Pune with loyal and competent associates, and by these things we can understand that how he was planning to form और टू इस्टेब्लिश स्वराज. उनका एक एक कदम जो महाराष्ट्र की राजनीति में या फिर उस वक्त की मेडिवल पीरियड की राजनीति में वो डाल रहे थे, वो सब स्वराज इस्टेब्लिश करने के तरफ ही जा रहा था. एंड इन दिस जिदा माता also played very important role with Shahajiraje. Jijabai was the daughter of great Sardar Lakhuji Raje Jadhav of Sindkhed Raja. At a young age, she had received military training as well as education in various subjects. Like today we are studying in school science, mathematics, history, geography, that is social studies, and languages. So the education of that period was also in different subjects or various subjects like politics, administration and military trainings. So Jizabai was a competent and visionary political expert like Shahajiraje. Here you can see the images of birthplace of Veer Mata Jizabai, Sindh Raja. She helped and encouraged Shahaji Maharaj to realize his dream of establishing Swaraj. She constantly guided Shivaji in the mission of establishment of Swaraj. She was very particular about giving excellent education to Shivaji. She instilled in him values like modesty, truthfulness, oratory, vigilance, courage and fearlessness. She saw that he was trained in the uses of weapons and inspired in him the will to win and dream of Swaraj. So, this will to win and the dream of Swaraj given to Shivaji Maharaj by Veer Mata Jizabai. शाहजी राजा ने एक सपना देखा, एक विजन देखा, उसमें वीर माता जिजाबाई ने उनकी हेल्प की, ना सिर्फ हेल्प की बल्कि स्वराज का सपना शिवाजी महाराज के साथ साथ पूरा भी किया. दैट इज वाई द रोल ऑफ शाहजी राजे एंड द रोल ऑफ वीर माता जिजाबाई is very important when we talk about the Shivaji Maharaj or about the Swaraj established by Shivaji Maharaj. Now the next point, companions and associates. As we know, companions and associates very important to do any work, and when people with common objective or same objective come together, then they can achieve success or work on it for long time. So whenever Shivaji Maharaj started the work of establishing Swaraj, then in the Mawal region, the Mawal terrain is full of hills and valleys and is not easily accessible. He created a feeling of trust and affection in the minds of the people, which one is very important to understand. क्योंकि आगे कुछ लेसन्स आएंगे जिसमें हम शिवाजी महाराज के बारे में पढ़ेंगे और उसमें हमें पता चलेगा कि एक एक सोल्जर, एक एक मावड़ा जो था शिवाजी महाराज का, उन पर या फिर स्वराज के लिए जान देने के लिए तैयार था. और ये हो सका बिकॉज शिवाजी महाराज क्रिएटेड अ फीलिंग ऑफ ट्रस्ट and affection in the minds of the people. In this, many companions and associates joined him in his work of founding the Swaraj. Among them, Esaji Kank, Baji Pasalkar, Bapuji Mudgal, Narekar Deshpande brothers, कावजी कोंडालकर, जीवा महला, तानाजी मालुसरे, कानोजी जेधे, बाजी प्रभु देशपांडे. On the strength of these associates, Shivaji Maharaj undertook the cause of the Swaraj. These associates played important role in the foundation of the Swaraj. Then the next thing, royal seal or Raj Mudra. The objective of Shivaji Maharaj of establishing Swaraj is clearly expressed in his royal seal. ऐसे ही नहीं कि वो उठे और स्वराज स्थापित किया, लोगों को इकट्ठा किया. There was particular object and the thought or the idea clear in the mind of Veer Mata Jijabai, in the mind of Shahajiraje, and also in the mind of Shivaji Maharaj. So the objective behind this was clearly expressed in royal seal, and today also we can read and understand this. The meaning of the Raj Mudra. This seal will grow in splendor like the new moon. The seal of Shivaji, the son of Shahaji, receiving homage from the whole world, denotes the welfare of the people. Now here this welfare word is very important. Why this word is important? Because this word welfare of the people is the key of the Swaraj. स्वराज क्यों फॉर्म हुआ? फॉर द वेलफेयर ऑफ द पीपल. Now in this you can see the image of Raj Mudra, that is Pratipa Chandra Lekhev Vardishnu Vishwavandita Shaha Suno Shivshasya Mudra Bhadraye Rajte. The meaning of this inscription on the seal is important from many angles. Through this inscription, Maharaj has expressed his gratitude towards his father, his confidence that Swaraj would expand continuously, his own experience of the respect that the seal, that is Swaraj, commanded from all, his commitment to the welfare of his subjects, and the certainty of ruling over his land independently. The short inscription covers the entire concept of Swaraj. So, if you want to understand the objective of the Swaraj, then you can understand this by reading the royal seal or the Raj Mudra of the Shivaji Maharaj. Now, the next thing, towards the establishment of Swaraj, Shivaji Maharaj decided to acquire the forts. How it was started? By acquiring the forts. He decided to acquire the forts that were within his own Jagir. He captured the forts of Murumdev, Kondhana and Purandar and laid the foundation of Swaraj. Here you can see the images of the forts. Because the forts were very important in the medieval history, with a firm hold over a fort, it was possible to control the surrounding area, and therefore Shivaji Maharaj decided to acquire the forts. If one had forts, one ruled the land. Now, here in the beginning, Raigad was the first capital of the Swaraj. Then the Mores of Javli, Ghorpades of Mudhol, the Savants of Savantwadi and other Sardars in the Adil Shahi, they were opposed to the cause of founding Swaraj. It was just necessary to bring them and other like-minded Sardars under control for the purpose of founding Swaraj. So, Shivaji Maharaj fought against them first. Here you can again see the images of Raigad the capture of Javli. Chandrarao More of Javli in Satara district was a powerful Sardar in the Adil Shahi, and he opposed the founding of the Swaraj. So Shivaji Maharaj attacked Javli and captured that region in 1656 CE. He established his post there, and then he also captured Raigad, Kalyan, Bhivandi. He attained a huge amount of wealth from Javli. Then he came into contact with the Siddhi, Portuguese and British powers on the western coast. And by that, he realized that in order to fight these powers, it was necessary to have a strong naval force, and therefore he concentrated on building the navy. And that is why we call him as the father of Indian Navy. And this is the next. Shivaji was the first Indian king to cultivate navy in addition to acquiring land. He had 300 shipyards, hundreds of frigates and many sea forts. He controlled over 300 miles of coastline. He is known as father of the Indian Navy. He built Pratapgarh fort in Javli valley, where he attained a huge amount of wealth. The conquest of Javli increased his strength in all respects. And then the next one, defeat of Afjalkhan. You people already learnt in detail about this in 4th standard. Badi Sahiba, who was looking after the administration of Adil Shahi, she sent Afjalkhan, a powerful and experienced Adil Shahi general, to crush Shivaji Maharaj, to curb Shivaji Maharaj. But then the history which you or we all know, Afjalkhan came from Bijapur to via Tulzapur, Pandharpur and Rahmatpur, harassing the people and damaging the temples on his way. A meeting of Shivaji Maharaj and Afjalkhan took place on 10th November 1659 at the foot of Pratapgarh near Vai. And there at the meeting, Shivaji Maharaj killed Afjalkhan and he routed the Adil Shahi army. क्योंकि अफजल खान ये कोई छोटा नाम नहीं था उस वक्त का. जैसे ही शिवाजी महाराज ने अफजल खान को मार दिया, शिवाजी महाराज का नाम सब जगहों पे लिया जाने लगा, सब जगहों पे उनको माना जाने लगा. And then the expedition of Siddhi Zor, Shivaji Maharaj had posed a big challenge before the Adil Shahi, and therefore the Adil Shah sent Siddhi Zor, the Sardar of the Kurnool region, against Shivaji Maharaj in AD 1660. There Shivaji Maharaj took shelter in the Panala fort, but Siddhi's soldiers laid siege to the fort for inside the fort. And then there Netaji Palkar tried to raise the siege by attacking Siddhi's army from outside, but he could not succeed in it as his forces were mere. Siddhi showed no signs of relenting, so Shivaji Maharaj opened talks with him. This led to slackness in the siege round Panalgarh. Shivaji Maharaj took advantage of this situation and he escaped through the seas round Panhalgarh and proceeded towards Rajgarh. He was accompanied by Baji Prabhu Deshpande, Bandal Deshmukh and some chosen soldiers. When Siddhi came to know that Shivaji Maharaj has escaped the siege round Panhalgarh and proceeded to Vishalgarh, Shivaji Maharaj entrusted the responsibility of stopping Siddhi's army at the foot of Vishalgarh to Baji Prabhu Deshpande. And there Baji Prabhu fought with the greatest valor. Baji Prabhu died a hero's death in this battle. Because of Baji Prabhu's army held Siddhi's army at bay, Shivaji Maharaj could proceed to Vishalgarh. And while going to Vishalgarh, Maharaj also crushed the opposition of the Adil Shahi Sardars, Dalvi of Palwan and Sab of Sringarpur. So the Palwan and Surve, he crushed them. Maharaj reached Vishalgarh safely. And in this Veer Shivakashid, very important name. Subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications.
So my dear students, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.